Yeah, I mean, there's a huge amount to learn from this performance, and I think I mentioned a couple of times the experiences that you have by being put under pressure on a number of different occasions, whether it's with the bat or the ball, and having close games and tournaments like the World Cup are great to be a part of, especially when you come out on the right side of things. So we also know that we've got a number of games left, and on different surfaces. We'll be back here again at some point. We won't know the difference that will hold for us, but we also have Manchester where we go next. And once again, I know that it's been playing well, and we'll just have to adapt and keep playing this sort of cricket that gives us the best opportunity to win cricket games. But day in, day out, that can vary a lot depending on opposition and surfaces, etc. Yeah, it was just trying to build some sort of partnership to get the game into a death phase, I suppose, in terms of being able to play with a bit more freedom and try and get a bit of momentum. And we were able to do that in small bits, but obviously the partnership and the knock from Colin was outstanding in terms of swinging that momentum, and he hit the ball beautifully. Perhaps coming in fresh rather than trying to negotiate the surface prior might have been a positive thing, but it was certainly enjoyable batting with him, and a great game of cricket on a surface that was tough for both sides, and it required both teams to adapt, but often those sorts of surfaces create those sorts of games. So it was a great game to be a part of, but obviously nice to come out on top. Yeah, they were brilliant. We sort of knew that throughout the middle overs scoring could be quite tough, but at the same time you had to execute your skills well, and there was a short side to the ground, which meant that there was always perhaps a boundary option, but they were brilliant for us. And in terms of a pass score, it is always quite hard to tell. If you're able to take early wickets, then perhaps it was a pass score, but at the same time you always want a few more, don't you? And it's sort of impossible to reflect and give a sort of a definite answer, but it was one of those wickets that if you were able to squeeze and apply pressure, which they did, and they certainly weren't far away from perhaps getting across the line themselves, but it was nice once again to be able to take the game to a stage where we gave ourselves a chance to win it, which we were able to do. I suppose it's just trying to focus on the task and what we need to try and achieve, and throw a number of different things into that equation and try and make the best decision you can. And it doesn't always come off, but it was nice that we were able to take the game to a stage where we then get across the line today, which was, like I mentioned, a really good experience for us as a team in this tournament. But yeah, it certainly doesn't always happen like that, but it was just important for us today to take the game to a stage, and we were sort of keeping track of the overs and who was bowling what, and trying to assess some of perhaps the bigger threats on that surface, and the long side, the short side. And then it was nice that we was able to go in our favour today. I watched most of that game, so it felt a little bit different for me. I was on the sidelines, but yeah, it was another really tight game. We've had a number of great games against South Africa. They're a fantastic side, and obviously a very difficult side to beat. And then you get on a sort of a surface where it sort of dictates how deep the game goes, because it can be hard to blast teams out, but then it can be very difficult to score. So you're sort of playing sort of a slow, I guess, death by paper cuts in terms of a bowling outfit, and that's what we were looking to try and achieve as well. And once again, another great game, another close one, but I think every game's important, and naturally important for them, but very important for us. We're wanting to keep improving throughout this competition, and I think for us that looks like playing smart cricket and adapting, because the surfaces have varied a lot, and we need to keep trying to look to do that and be better at that. I don't know, really. I mean, there's still a number of games left that, and as we know in these sorts of tournaments, things can go in a number of different ways, and you always see, I guess, sides that are ranked lower beat sides that are ranked higher, and all these different sorts of things. But and I think we will find, playing on a number of similar surfaces where wickets age, that there's another varying factor, but it's very hard to judge with only sort of half the games gone in the tournament in terms of what it looks like at that end point. But for us, we're focusing on the cricket that we want to play and trying to improve day in, day out.